G'day guys, today we are talking about coffee. I've got 4 different ways to show you what I do here. 3 of them need an external heat source, whether that's a gas cooker, a jet boil or a fireplace, either one of those. And the 4th one is something that I haven't actually tried before. Sarah brought it for me. It doesn't require an external heat source to give you hot cappuccino. We are on the mighty Murray River, not far out of Kahuna, not far from where I live. It's a ripper spot. I love coming out here. There's camping spots all the way along the river here, and there's not a soul around besides me. Tell you what, these birds this morning, it's pretty cool. I think one of the best things about being out in the bush, regardless of where you are, is first thing in the morning, getting your first brew going, because who has just one, and listening to the bird life and listening to the world come alive around you. I think that's kind of cool. So I'll get that billy on the gas burner here. It'll take a minute or so and then we'll be good to make a brew. So the first one I wanted to talk about is something that we probably all do. I certainly still use it. I keep this in the car all the time. It never leaves the car. If I want to pull up on the side of the road and have a brew, this is what I use, because it's quick, it's nasty, it gives you that caffeine fix that you're after. And I'm talking about instant coffee here. Like when I was in the army, we used to have, what did the army give us? It was like International Roast or something like that. It was absolutely freaking horrid stuff. You'd be better off licking the bottom of your boot to get a bit of a kick. But these days, there's that many different coffee blends that are around in instant coffee that you can still get a damn good brew, like Makona, is that what's called, Makona? They make a pretty good brew. There's lots of them around, so just find one that's convenient, find one that's tasty. I don't need to show you how to do this. You don't need to suck eggs. I generally go 1 and 1 and throw a bit of milk in there. But on that note, I don't always have the fridge going, so what I keep in the back of the vehicle here is sweetened condensed milk. And you might think that's a stupid bloody thing to do, but this lasts for freaking ages. And if you don't have milk, just put some coffee in, put some of this in, this will do your sugar, this will do your milk, and it's not too bad. It'll give you the fix that you need. The second thing I want to show you are these little coffee bags here. There's a few different ones around. I actually, when we went to Japan over Christmas, New Year's, these are big in hotel rooms over there. It's basically a pour-on coffee. It's like a filter sort of coffee. This is what it looks like out of the bag. You can certainly buy these in Australia. There's actually a number of YouTubers that make these and sell these, I should say. So basically what this does, you rip the top off it, and it has little wings that it comes out, and it sits on your cup, just like that. You take the top off this and you pour your hot water in here, and it filters the coffee through this, and it gives you a pretty good brew, as long as the beans are good. Like, you don't need to grind anything with this. The benefit is it's reasonably fast. It tastes generally pretty good depending on the beans that you have and the brand that you have. The downside of this is these are pretty expensive, or can be pretty expensive. So we'll throw one of these on and have a go. Fill it to the top, let it go down. I'll usually do this maybe 2 or 3 times. And that's 3. And that'll do us. We just wait till that filters all the way through. We'll throw some milk into there, so a bit of condensed milk in there, that'll probably do it. Give it a little bit of a stir. There you go, brew done. It's not too bad. Like I said before, it's as good as the coffee beans or the brand that you get. This is good coffee, and it's not as plain Jane as the, oh God, you guys are loud. It's not as plain Jane as the instant coffee. It's takes a little bit more work, but it's worth it. The next one though is my favourite by far. It's what I actually use at home every day, and I bring it out bush with me. An AeroPress. Just going to get that water on. AeroPress is, it's got a bit of a cult following, I guess. It's almost like having a manual espresso machine. This is an AeroPress Go. So there is a bigger one that you can use for home. I actually just use the same one at home as what I use out here. In this, if you haven't seen these before, in this, it's got this rubber cover on there just to keep everything nice and secure. In this little disc here is filters. I'll show you them in a second. That's the filter holder right there. This is the AeroPress itself, and a cup. And the way that this works is this here is rubber, fits in here just perfectly, and it's quite difficult to push down. And what we're going to do, there's different ways to use this, and I don't use it the way it's meant to be used. I do it inverted, which is a legit way to do it. Basically what I'm doing is bringing this rubber seal almost to the end there. So pretty much that level there. And I'm just going to sit that on the table just like that. This is where the work comes in. You're going to need to grind some beans, or bring some beans with you that are already ground. And you're going to leave a fairly coarse grind on this. I just bring this and bring beans with me and manually do this. Some people would think I'm a bit nut job for doing that, but I enjoy just watching what goes on in the world as I'm grinding my coffee. It also comes with this scoop. I've never used it, never needed to. Because I used this, the idea of using, the key to using an AeroPress is consistency. Find something that you like and be consistent with it. So this is the grinder that I use all the time. I even use this one at home. And this, I fill this with beans, and it gives me this amount of ground beans. So this is the whole amount that I use every single time I make a coffee. And with the inverted AeroPress, the way you're meant to use this is put the filter, everything on there, fill it with coffee, put this on, fill it with water, then put this on top and then press it through. But what I find is that it leaks when you do that, and it doesn't give you a stronger blend. So I'm going to put that into there, and that's it. That'll sit in there. I'll wait for that water to boil. We'll pour the water directly into this, and then we'll start timers. Yeah, timers. AeroPress is kind of a big deal in the world of coffee once you get away from espresso machines and stuff. They have a world championship for this thing every year, and the people who run in these competitions, they go stir it left to right, stir it right to left, stir it forwards and backwards, leave it for 2 minutes, leave it for 3 minutes, leave it for 1 minute, all these sorts of things. And believe it or not, doing things differently like this gives you a different taste to the coffee that you're making every day. And I know some of you probably think you're going to a lot of bloody effort here for coffee, but there's one thing that I really love about camping, and that's bringing just that little bit of luxury with you to a place that's not so much luxurious. It's different if you've got a big camper and you've got a pod machine in your camper and all that sort of business, but when you're camping like what I do, and I know a lot of other people do, that's the bare minimal. This is nice to have. It sounds like my water has holes in it. Just want to check that. And it does. Turn that cooker off. What we've got is the beans are in there, all ground up. I'm just going to pour water directly on top of those. Going to fill it right to the top. It looks like it's good. That's good. In the kit you also get this. This is a stirrer, and I'm just going to stir it. What I'm doing here is making sure that all of the ground beans are wet. And you can see there, it's almost looks like there's a crema on top. That's just all the oils coming from the beans. This happens with espresso as well. That's a good enough stir there, I think. Now that all the beans are wet, there's a bit more room in there, so I'll put a little bit more water in there. And that's it. Now we wait for 2 minutes. Now while we're waiting for that 2 minutes, we're going to use these filters here. So this is a filter holder. In here are paper filters. And immediately you may go, that's something else to bring, but really I'll fit about 20 to 30 in this little holder here. And they're cheap as chips to buy. So you've got one filter, close that back up, and this goes into the filter holder. This filter holder now goes on top of here, and we lock it in. Now I'll just wait for the timer to go off. All right, the timer's off. We get this, the coffee cup. It sits pretty well closely on top of there, and we're going to turn this up pretty quickly, just like that. And we slowly push down on the plunger. Not too much pressure. The pressure matters as well. Not too much. You can see it slowly going down there, and there's coffee coming into the cup down the bottom here. You may be able to see the coffee in here. This here, for someone who doesn't have espresso machines, I've used all sorts of different manual espresso stuff, but this is what I found to be the best. It just tastes great. We're nearly there. Almost there now. There we go. That's done. What I do now is kind of double, and with the water amount doubled, you can throw some sugar in there if you want sugar, or just a little bit of milk, all to your own preference. And this here will be one of the best brews you're going to have in the field. It's fan-freaking-tastic. The last one I wanted to show you today was this one. This is what Sarah brought me. It's plus 42 degrees. Can you see that there? Plus 42 degrees. It's self-heats cappuccino. Self-heating cappuccino. So this reminds me of something. When I was still in the army, we did an exercise with the Americans, and the Americans in their ration packs, see, what we have is Hexum, or what we had back then, I don't know what they have now, but we had like these Hexamine tablets. They're like solid fuel tablets that you put into a stove, put your can of food on there, and you'd eat it that way, heat it up that way and eat it from the can. And the Americans had this stove that they had these tablets that would there was no flame, they would just heat, like chemical tablets. Pretty sure that's what this is. So reading the instructions here, I need to take off, so this is the top, it's got a pull tab on there, and on the bottom it's got a pull tab as well. And reading the instructions, if I take this bottom one off, open that up, okay, that's all chemical in there now, so I've got to push this. I think that's right. Now I've got to wait until it starts steaming, then I turn it up the other way. Okay, it turns out I didn't push it far enough. I pushed it even further and it popped all the way in. It changed colour. It's making noise. All right, I'll take the top off. This is weird. Certainly heating up. It's proper heated up. This coffee is like proper hot now. How weird. Smells very sweet and artificial. But that's well, that's actually probably too hot to hold on to. All right, that probably took about 60 seconds or so, and that's a hot cup of coffee. Like it's proper hot. It's like almost hard to hold on to. What does this taste like? This tastes like, if you've been to Japan and had vending machine coffee, that's what this tastes like. Like the cans that come out of a vending machine, like the Boss coffee and stuff. It's very sweet. Tastes nothing like AeroPress. It tastes more like something else that it tastes like. This thing is getting hotter as I hold it. This is crazy. So Sarah uses, I call it a hot milkshake that she has as her coffee in the morning. It's like these Nestle sachet things. They look like this. And she has one of those in the morning. I think 2 in the morning, just to get her going. Whereas I need a bit more. I need like proper caffeine to get going. But this tastes like those hot milkshakes that I call it that she has. It's very sweet. It's very artificial. I think if you kept one of these in your car, or a couple of these in your car, what's it called? I said 40 plus 42 degrees. I think if you kept a couple of these in your car and you got stuck, this would get you out of that stuck, I guess, and keep you going for a little bit longer. It's not something that I would go to straight away for a cup of coffee, but it'll get you out of trouble in a pinch. So this will not be drunk by me. I'm going back to my AeroPress. ways that I make coffee, this is my go-to almost every single time. But there's other options out there, I'm sure there are. What else is there? What do you guys use? Except for espresso machines, I just can't bring myself to put an espresso machine into the car. Even if I end up getting a camper van, I just can't see me doing that. So what else is there? What else do you guys use? You got the AeroPress, you got instant coffee, you've got the bags, the drip filters. What else? What else is there? What else is there? Let me know. See you next week.